And here we are at Queensland Raceway, round 2 of the Precision National Sports Sedans. And it's glorious. Amazing track. It's been upgraded. Tony Quinn has been working really hard, and the track looks fantastic. The facilities look fantastic, and it's going to be an epic round. Practice 1 saw Jordan Caruso lead the pack, with Ashley Jarvis, series leader, sitting in second. Jackie Camilleri in the Marc III car rounded out the top 3, with Anthony Coutts and Tim Tritton for the top 5. Practice 2 saw Tony Riccolo rise to the top, with Jordan Caruso just over half a second behind, Ashley Jarvis in 3rd, Steve Lacey 4th, followed by Birrell Seaton in 5th. Practice 3 was much the same, with Tony, Jordan, and now Steve Tomasi sitting in 3rd, followed by Darren Curry and Ashley Jarvis. Anthony Cox, Steve Lacey, Michael Robinson, Ryan Humphreys, and Jackie Camilleri rounded out the top 10. Qualifying saw Jordan Caruso take pole over Tony Riccolo with 1.2 second gap, followed by Steve Tomasi, Ashley Jarvis and Darren Curry for our top 5. Further back, Michael Robinson was ahead of Anthony Cox, Ryan Humphrey. Christopher Donnelly, first time out in this awesome Ford EL, was sitting in 9th, and rounding out the top 10 was Stephen Lacey. Any words of wisdom for us today in this little break?
Yeah, what you see is a perfect physical specimen of a man. What can I say? And it ain't bragging if you can back it up.
This is true.
It's not lying if it's the truth. There's another gem.
Another gem.
My name's Chris Donnelly. I'm the driver of the 43 Falcon EL sports sedan powered by the SB2 Chev. We've got a Hollinger 6-speed sequential gearbox and the Winters quick change independent diff. This weekend at Queensland Raceway, really looking forward to it. It's my first race meeting since November 21, so driver's probably going to be a little rusty. We've made some fairly significant changes to the car since we've last raced it. We've added an ECU to it now to control the spark. So we've got little nice things like shift cut, traction control. So looking forward to using that here.
Race 1 was epic, with Tony and Jordan going neck and neck, back and forth, attacking until Jordan unfortunately had a header fail, so dropped back to 3rd place. The race finished with Tony Riccolo 1st, Steve Tomasi 2nd, Jordan Caruso 3rd, followed by series leader Ashley Jarvis in 4th, rounded out by Anthony Cox with an awesome drive in the Saab to 5th. Further back, Darren Curry, Michael Robinson, Ryan Humphreys, Marc Duggan and Christopher Donnelly round out the top 10, setting up an awesome round 2 for day 2 at Queensland Raceway.
Hi, my name's Fergus. I'm here at QR this weekend with our Mazda RX-7 Sports Sedan. We just got this back recently. My dad used to own it about 2006 to 2009. He ran in the Queensland State Series and won the QRDA Championship in it. It's probably my favourite race car ever because I grew up with it. So yeah, I'm really glad we got it back and decided to have a run this weekend, get some laps in. Pretty excited for it.
Queensland Raceway, round 2 of the Shannon's Trophy Series. Welcome back. The Gods of Thunder are on the track now, and the most successful of those gods is in the front row of the grid. There he is, 11 times champion, Tony Ricciardello. Right beside him is Steve Tomasi, pushed hard yesterday. Jordan Caruso succumbed to an issue yesterday. Ash Jarvis leading the championship coming into this round. Tony Coutts, Garry, Michael Robinson in the 32. Humphrey in that big menacing Falcon. Then we go back to another Falcon of Donnelly there as well. Duggan in the Aston, and away we go for race 2 of the weekend. And Garry O'Brien right alongside me. This is different how we started yesterday. Ricciardello gets into the lead. Jordan Caruso in the P2.
Yeah, Ricciardello was back to third after starting on pole in yesterday's race, and one's gone off there in the background. Hopefully it's just on to the... There's Steve Tomasi trying to get past 2. Caruso goes down the inside of Ricciardello at turn 3. Gets the lead away. Can he hold on to it? Ricciardello comes back at him out of that corner, but he's on the wrong side of the track as they head up to turn 4.
Well, this is reminiscent of 7 or 8 years ago. Hossack versus Ricciardello, the same 2 cars in the battle, and they are battling on cold tyres, both of them. Their silhouettes match in the run between 4 and 5, and Ricciardello goes back into the lead in the course of 2 corners here at Queensland Raceway. The Precision International Sports Sedans turning it on, and into turn 6 they go. Caruso right up the inside. Ricciardello looks over and goes, "Not this Audi again. Do we have to keep doing this?" Look at the power on that Alpha. He gets it down magnificently. I believe the issue yesterday with Jordan Caruso's Audi was a header pipe issue, a crack or something. I haven't actually had a chance to meet up with the team, but that was something, a rumour I heard down the back of the paddock area in between races this morning. Ricciardello running wide. He did it all day. He is absolutely exploring the grip limitation.
Now Caruso goes down the inside of turn 3, and we have another lead change. Goes ahead of Ricciardello. Ricciardello will now have to fight back and try to go down the inside at 4. It's no good going the outside unless you can stay out there. He gets alongside. This is something we haven't seen from the Alpha. It's got the straight line pace of the Audi.
Wow, this is the battles of old, isn't it? Look at Stephen Tomasi. He is just sitting back there, poised. His dad, Dan, will be pacing up and down the pit lane wall. He was beside himself with excitement after the race yesterday, albeit they didn't get the one. They came home in 2nd place, but he was just frothing at the potential with Sports Sedans in season 2023. And I think we all are, guys.
Yeah. Now I think Ricciardello is just going to sit in behind him for a period. Maybe see if he's used up a bit more tyre. They only have 8 tyres for the meeting, 4 new, 4 used that they can use.
Good look into the side window there of Tony Ricciardello's Alpha Chevrolet powered, all built in-house at BMN Ricciardello. There's the Tomasi Calibra, the beautifully presented precision for all your engine requirements, precisionintel.com, where you can catch it all out, and that is where this car absolutely sings. Great horsepower, always been produced by the Tomasi cars. Oh, understeer there for Tony Ricciardello. He just caught that. He gave it an early turn in to try and gather up some real estate, but it bit him back there and he lost a bit of impotence, and you cannot be slow off turn 5 heading up to 6, otherwise you'll be exposed pretty much by the end of the front straight. You've got to carry it, sweeping it around turn 6 and carry it down the straight.
Well, it's a racing free at the moment with Ash Jarvis protecting his series lead by just continually scoring good points. He is in 4th position in the Monaro Chev.
I've spoken to the first 3 guys yesterday, and that's not lost on them. They're like, we've got to win races, because Ash will just sit there gathering up points as well. His car is not in the same horsepower league as these front 3. In fact, he's 7.9 seconds off the back of the leader now. Coxie in the Saab is 9.2 seconds off. We're getting good shots of them here. Michael Robinson, he's doing a brilliant job here again. A guy who has come 2nd and 3rd in the championship more times than he wants to even remember anymore.
Here's Steve Lacey coming through the field, just got ahead, although Darren Curry's bringing the Marc car down the inside. They're both trying to get past Marc Dagan in the ex-Kerry Bailey Aston Martin, Chev. Of course, most of the front-running cars in this category are Chev-powered. That's apart from the Saab, which is running a Dodge engine.
Well, look at this. This is a nice move here. Garry gets through on the 2012 championship winning car. Debuted in 2012 and won the championship in 2012. No one had an answer for it with Garry when he came out, had they?
And now Duggan comes back at the Coyote-powered Marc car through turn 6. They've got a new Marc car coming from Jeff Taunton, which will be full sports sedan spec GT car, their latest innovation.
Tim Tritton just in the background there, car that was driven by Scribblehead himself, Rand McGlurkin, who's covering off all the social medias for the category. Had it for a year or two, moved it on, and these guys have given it a very, very happy birthday update in numerous areas. And it's a famous sports sedan. It's had numerous different owners across the years. James Phillip, I think Dean Cam as well, and it's a weapon. It really is, and more Tim gets used to it, the more that Honda will start to push up the field.
Well, unfortunately, it pulled up in qualifying just on the outside of turn 2 and pulled up in the same place in the race. So I must have had something over there they needed to retrieve. Not sure. Good dice here between Curry and Duggan, and now Triton moving in onto the back of the Aston as well. Steve Lacey, of course, didn't finish yesterday. Had fuel boil in that car.
Yeah, that was an interesting conversation because they were pulling the car apart and they'd actually taken the heat shield out. Have a look at that, a 108.1054. That's a shame. This
Travis
is a really interesting iteration on a sports sedan. A little Corolla with an LS type engine in the front of it. Ran some sort of, I guess, junior sports sedan type series, some more freedoms, like a tin tops
category. Safety car out for this.
It has too. There's that big XD Falcon. Wow, they travel some distance too. They come from Western Australia as well. I think it was coming over on the back of a I don't know, like a high ace delivery van or something like that they were towing it over with, and fantastic. We're starting to rack them up here, and this can be a part of sports sedans. That's Anthony Saint in the Mazda RX-7, and he's
a local, and Triton's joined him over there as well. So
both locals, actually.
Right, and I thought he's from Victoria.
And there's Condon. I guess that's the one that's probably in the dangerous spot coming off that previous corner
that car
there.
Lost a pressure relief valve out of the sump in Friday practice, and they thought their weekend was done, but they managed to get it going again and took in race 1. Unfortunately, not so much in race 2.
So let's hope it's just a hook and run for these cars to get them into safety.
What happens when we go back to greens? We've got the top 3 line astern, and it'll be on.
Well, I tell you what, I'm going to throw a bit of a wild one amongst this. I'm going to say watch Michael Robertson and Humphrey and Chris Donnelly, all sitting in 6, 7 and 8. They've essentially seen the leaders drive away from them. They've now got them back in sight, and they're going to try and not let them skip away. Going with them is going to be hard. Let's face it.
I think the one that impressed me most out of race 1 was Tony Cox in the Saab. Who would have thought that car, given on past performances, could have been in 5th spot?
Certainly, yeah. Well, it was a front-running car back in the day in the Mike Imrie era, but I was most impressed with that guy. The old 11 times. He just, like age does not weary him. He's not even old yet. He's just been around for a long, long time.
It seems like he's been going since he was born.
Yeah. And look, I've gone on the record many times. As soon as he decides to stop driving that car, and I nearly went over during COVID and took it off him and put it in a humidity crib and hoisted it up on top of a building somewhere so we can all pray to the gods of sports sedans. But he's got his work cut out for him. A couple of old heads, some old war horses from sports sedans yesterday were not left scratching their head. They were going, Tony is just messing with them. He is just, he'll be able to come up to the rise to the top before the end of the weekend. I said, I don't know, he's working very hard. And they're like, yeah, he's working hard, but you just watch Tony race.
My apologies, Triton is actually a Queenslander. But I wanted to mention the Saab again because it's Dodge powered, and one of the guys who's watching in is Paul Boschert in Canberra, who has a Dodge-powered Corvette.
Well, that's an interesting
getting rebuilt,
iteration, isn't
and
it?
hopefully we'll see that one out before the end of the season.
And just so that everyone knows, you've got a Valiant parked in your driveway, so you're a Mopar guy, just like on the Sedans insurance ad. I'm a Mopar guy through and through. Garry O'Brien. Ray Hislop going through the screen there as well. Great to see Ray finding a happy home in sports sedans. He was a dominant force amongst a controversial era in improved production racing, but we're going to have a chat to him on the Grassroots Racing podcast in the not too distant future. So keep an eye out on that on the Speed Cafe podcasts, because it's a very interesting story to tell for Ray Hislop. But he's here next weekend racing, and he wanted to be here this weekend so he could qualify to get on the final round of the championship, round 5, which will be held at Boost Gold Coast on October 27, 29.
Yeah, looking forward to that.
I bet you will. Well, for the first time in I can't remember how long, a full national sports sedan field will be welcome to the Bathurst 1000 in October 5 to 8.
Indeed. And then on the Gold Coast, it's been a long time since Cease Tyler cars have raced on the Gold Coast.
Yeah. Well, both those tracks, both iconic Australian tracks. Here this weekend, this track has been suited overtime to Tony Ricciardello, but he has got a couple of young guns. Tomasi's now a multiple champion of the category, and of course number 1 leading the race, Jordan Caruso, won the last Australian Championship as well. So Tony has got, as I said, 11 times championships, and that is a world record. That is in the Guinness Book of World Records.
But it was in the Guinness Book of Records when he got to 8.
Yes, it was. Just kept reprinting, didn't it? Being that the CAMS and Motorsport Australia events are FIA accredited, that's where the record can be absorbed or displayed, and you can't take those championships off Tony Ricciardello. It is it's just something to be really in awe of, isn't it?
Safety car lights out. So
and interestingly enough, Tony doesn't wear it as a badge of honour. Tony's there for this race and to win this race, isn't he?
Well, the car, he preps all that car himself, does all the work on it, spent a long time over the off-season getting it ready for this championship, and you can see it's all worked so far.
Certainly has. A couple of different iterations on gearboxes, Hollinger's H6, sequentials, Modena 6-speeds, Tremex, and horizontals, and we are away. The ground thumps, the Gods of Thunder race one more time here for today, but we have got 4 more laps to go in this one, and Jordan Caruso has got the forever in the mirror. The snake, look at the snake's eyes. I love that on the front of the Elf with the twin headlights with that those snake eyes on there. And he changed the Tomasi not being able to go with them. The guys that come here with a different brake setup.
Furniture off the road in a Chev-powered Toyota 86, and he's not moving.
Not the only one of those being currently built out there for Australian sports sedans. There is another Toyota 86, and no, we're under yellow. So Tony Ricciardello has to be very careful. He's just noticed the yellow come out, so he has pulled back in behind Jordan Caruso. That's not what we wanted to see here. These cars are not displayed well under safety car. They are displayed well when they're allowed to run wild out there in the environment. And that is exactly what they are. I would encourage you to check it all out on their social medias at National Sports Sedan Series. And we see the cars coming around. There's the Humphrey car as well. Here's the back end of that. And the 86 just came into screen, unfortunately, not really giving us an indication of what had happened there. But came in out of position number 12, was in position number 12, so not mucking around, getting on with it there. And Tony Ricciardello is going to have to hustle on here to get onto the back of this, because there it is, it's up and out. And gee, I hope we can get that away, because we don't want to suffer too many more laps under safety car.
Front splitters are good for picking up all the gravel.
They're terrific, aren't they? And then distributing all over the track as they leave.
That's been a quick recovery. Which
certainly
good.
has. There's been some Motorsport Australia officials brought in from all over the country to work with the recoveries on the Trophy Series, because it is the biggest absorber of race time. And we don't want to lose time because of that. 47 there, that's the Fergus Coutts car. This was a car that was run over a decade ago with his dad. And they are out there running around, albeit down the tail end of a national field. They are in the race and pushing hard.
Ash Bright just ahead of him. That's an ex-supercar, but it runs an LS in it, so...
Sadly, just noticed the yellow car of Nick Smith, the number 69, has gone to the pits. And, wow, there's a guy that I don't know how we can keep him motivated. It just seems to be, and he does. He to credit to himself and his wife and his kids. He often remarks, "Gee, I'm so lucky to have the family I've got." His dad heavily involved in it as well. Of course, a racer as well.
Racer Graham Smith had a Fiat 131 Turbo in racing New South Wales sports sedans for many years back in the Oran Park and Amaroo Park days.
No, it looks like we're going to go again, Gaz. That's the zone of the track where the safety car should be turning out its lights. So what does that leave us with? It will leave us with...
We're on lap 10 at the moment.
Yeah.
In third place for round 2 of the championship for GWR, ladies and gentlemen, Commentators.
So it's still Caruso from Ricciardello, Tomasi, Jarvis, Cox, Robertson, Humphrey, Donnelly, Steve Lacey up to 9th from the rear of the field, Curry in 10th. Then it's Duggan, Hislop, Jake Camilleri, we haven't mentioned, he's in the Mark 1 Mazda. Matt Longhurst from South Australia in the Time Attack Honda Integra. He is currently running in a 14th position. We've got Ash Bright and Coutts, the two that we just mentioned, at the back of the field, just in front. Oh no, Furchin's gone to the pit, so he's obviously called it a day in this one.
Looks like Tim Tritton in the Honda as well has ailed there, because he's not showing in the pits, but not...
Yeah, but he's parked. He and Tony Saint are parked off together.
Yeah, that's right, sorry. I try and keep up with that. The 43 there as well, a number that Alan Moffat made very famous. And in behind there as well is Mark Duggan. And we're just being informed that possibly this is going to finish on this lap here. So we will we'll continue to run down through the field. Disappointing end for everyone competing in the Precision National Sports Sedan Series. PrecisionIntel.com for all of your engine componentry and parts. Make sure you talk to the people at Precision. They know exactly what you need when you're trying to go fast, that is for sure, or trying to go reliably as well. So make sure you give them the chance to be part of your automotive experience, and let them know that you were watching the Shannon's Trophy Series and you saw Stephen Tomasi racing in the Precision Intel Calibra. He represents the brand very, very well indeed. There's the Elcor property developer's car of Jordan Caruso, who will, I guess, if we go to the checkered flag behind safety car, will inherit himself a worthy win in the series. And Tony Ricciardello as well. Ash Jarvis, P4, just dragging those points
Tony
in.
Cox in 5th and Michael Robertson in 6th. So that's a good mix of cars on pretty even pace in that group. So if we get some full laps in the next race, which is the last race on the program this afternoon.
There it is, checkered flag. Ryan Humphrey for Carlton Wines out of Western Australia, representing very, very well. And I hope they're all very happy with his rapport or his performance here so far this weekend. Coming home 7th place, and the cars in front of him is absolutely no disgrace. In fact, that is something to hang your hat on. Done a terrific job. As the cars finish off the race, it'll be Jordan Caruso that takes the win for race number 2 for the weekend, and the cars just making their way back to the pits now. Tony Ricciardello pulling up alongside and just acknowledging the race win, which he's had to do that a number of times over the years, with Darren Hossack at the wheel and Jack Perkins at the wheel of the John Gourlay owned Audi. Round of applause from our volunteer officials trackside. They always appreciate the big bangers coming trackside here to Queensland Raceway. I guess ruining what could have been a full race distance there. The The programmed 13 laps certainly didn't come about. 11 is they've got to be happy with. And this is where the stories can start. Tony Ricciardello, who learnt off Kerry Bailey, just get straight in their ear and start talking to them and learn more about their car than they'll will off you. I remember Tony Ricciardello saying that Pouch or Kerry Bailey was the master of that. He'd just talk to you, keep talking and talking until he'd get out of you what was going on.
Well, every time I ever went to speak to him, the first thing he'd ask is, what was Tony running?
What did Tony say? Jordan Caruso takes the win over Tony Ricciardello. Steve Tomasi, Ash Jarvis in the 44 is in a very happy 4th place there. Tony Cox, Michael Robinson, Ryan Humphrey, Chris Donnelly, Steve Lacey and Darren Curry. Fastest lap on a 108.1054. That goes to Jordan Caruso. The lap record is still 107, and that is held by Thomas Randall in the Saab. We'll go down to pit lane now to Speed Cafe Victory Lane with Dean Herridge.
Yes, happy Jordan Caruso. Obviously a bit disappointing to finish under yellow, but it wins the win. Great opening duel in those first couple of laps.
Yeah, that was awesome. That was definitely the best battle I've had in Sports Sedan so far. Awesome race with Tony. You know, it was hard, but fair, and that's what you want. The car was wicked. I think it would have been interesting to see how it played out with tyres. I think, you know, Tony does a really good job of sort of managing the end of the race, but stoked with that. Awesome race.
So obviously the repairs overnight worked a treat, so the team must be happy about that.
Yeah, we had a bunch of people helping out, welding whatever was broken, but stoked to get the car back out, and hopefully we can have a good race 3.
Well, the good news for us is there is a race 3, and obviously do you think you can hold these couple of guys back?
It's going to be tough. They're both really quick, but I think as long as we've got the car and I just got to minimise mistakes, I think we should be good.
All right, plenty of pressure on. Well done for this one. As we get Tony across, congratulations. Good luck in race 3. Tony, I feel like he's probably a little disappointed that you probably had a run planned, no doubt, knowing you, but obviously finished under yellow. But it's going to be a good cracking run between the 3 of you guys, isn't there?
Yeah, look, it was a good battle. I think the safety car let Geordie off pretty on the light side, but mate, look, we made some big changes last night, and I think it sort of helped. The track changed quite a bit yesterday, and I think we found a pretty good setup, and the battle was on later in the race. But you just got to thank Precision Parts and the Duggan family as well, Hotel. They're putting a big effort in the support in the category, and great racing, great cars, and great people, mate. So it's really enjoyable.
We're absolutely enjoying it as well. Now, I spoke to you a couple of hours ago, and you're always just tinkering away. You're always trying to make it a little faster. So you made improvements last night. You got anything up your sleeve that you need to play around with before race 3?
Yeah, look, we're pretty close, I think. Probably going to be... We'll have another reset and think... this afternoon at 3 o'clock in the Arvo, the track will change again. So we've got to just manage the changes and try to get the best that we can out of the car for the track conditions. So, but it should be exciting. It's going to be on.
We're going to be excited for it, mate. Good luck with that one. Like I said, well done for P2 and a win yesterday, of course. So it's all to play for coming up.
No worries. Thanks.
Good on you, Steve. Come in third. Didn't see you in the mix yesterday. Didn't quite have them today. Have you got anything up your sleeve for this afternoon?
This race we tried to play a bit of the long game with the tyre pressures. And if the safety cars weren't there, maybe I could have caught up on that ground that I would lose early on, which was all sort of part of the plan. But unfortunately, that's racing, and the strategy didn't go to plan. But no, I was on the pace and feeling good, and this is sort of the closest I've been to these guys in a little while. Race 3 should be pretty exciting.
And the thing is, you are so close. Yesterday, your fastest lap time between you was like a 1/10 of a second apart. So you all are trying to find a little sneak somewhere. Like you said, you tried a bit of strategy there. So it's fantastic competition. We're loving watching it.
Yeah, the car's great. The engine's even better. Thanks to Precision International for their the engine parts that they're supplying us. They're unbelievable, and their service. All the questions are getting answered, and it's all coming together.
Well done for the P3. Can't wait for the next race.
No, I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Jeff Taunton from Marc Cars, and my good mate Darren Curry, the owner of our Mark II Mustang. Here we are at QR on a lovely cloudy weekend. With our first weekend out with no ABS. So Darren has a lot in front of him. These cars predominantly always have ABS, so this is our first to do all the Sports Sedan series, so it completely complies with the Sports Sedan rules, and then we put the ABS unit back in it for all the GT rounds and the Mark car rounds. So poor old Darren is going to probably flat spot a couple of tyres this weekend. But Darren, are you enjoying the car?
I love the car. It is very challenging to drive with the no ABS, but no one here's got ABS, so to be compliant, we've taken the unit out. The pedal's very touchy, but it's not as bad as what I thought it would be. Anyone looking at getting something like this and getting on a national sports sedan grid, I can't say enough about the cars. They're really good to drive. It's going to take a little bit to get used to the no ABS, but yeah, they're spectacular.
We are endurance cars, so they're built for the 12-hour. So they're very reliable, and the reliability in sports sedans is lacking. So the Marc car is a normal purchase car. There is 3 designs. There's a Mark 1, the Mark 2, Mark GT, and now Mark GT SS for sports sedans.
We're here with Tim and Tony. Guys, how's it going?
Yeah, pretty good. We had a short session this morning, only 3 laps, but can't really say it's going good because we didn't do many laps.
Yeah, it was a bit cut a bit short.
Yeah.
And I didn't even get any heat into the tyres yet, so but at least the car's running and it's pointing in the right direction, so we're going good. There's people here that aren't going quite so good.
And so you guys are kind of locals, would that be fair statement?
Yeah, it was our local track.
Yeah, Southeast Queensland guys. Yeah. And Tim and I have known each other for a lot of years, raced against each other for a lot of years. And if I'm not racing, I would come and improve for Tim sometimes, and he'll come out and help me out.
And then if he's not racing, does he come and improve for you?
Oh, very rarely. It's bloody hopeless.
Cars on track now for the final race of the weekend. The shadows are starting to go longer on the track here, and fantastic to invite out onto the track the Precision International or precisionintel.com National Sports Sedans Series, and they will be getting underway very, very soon indeed. Let's have a look as they roll out. There's Ray Hislop in the ex-supercar. He's getting some good, valuable miles in here this weekend, racing here next weekend as part of the Speed Series in the Verdict touring cars. So he's having a really good look at QR over there the next week as well. So he keeps motoring out on the track as well. And here is the track map here at Queensland Raceway. Turn 1, fast bump right on the entry there. It's almost like a mogul's course on a snow skiing track or snow skiing mountain. Turn 2, fast. You've got to carry the speed all the way down here. Hard under brakes into turn 3. Go wide, go short, and then it all starts to fight out on this shoot up to turn number 4. And the short little technical shoot up to turn number 5. Carry so much speed as you possibly can. And that's what it's like here, getting out of all these 90-degree corners at Queensland Raceway. It's about carrying the pace all the way through.
They call it the paperclip. It looks simple. It certainly isn't.
That's right. 3.1 kilometres been open since 1999. 6 corners, and the lap record has stood ever since that first weekend with Simon Wills in a Formula Holden, and the Formula Holden were good at point and shoot. Cars forming up now. On the front row of the grid, it'll be Jordan Caruso taking pole position next to Tony Ricciardello. And we have Stephen Tomasi for Precision International in car number 9 out of 3. 4 is Ashley Jarvis playing a long game in 2023.
Series points leader as he is, and he's continuing to hold that lead. Tony Coutts out of 5, stopped on the slow down lap with a fuel pump issue in the last one. Michael Robertson, Ryan Humphrey and Chris Donnelly round out the top 8.
Chris Donnelly in that Falcon just coming into screen now. The Marc car, which was the next one through there, is Curry, then Duggan, Ray Hislop, Jake Camilleri. We haven't seen much of Longhurst, Bright, Coutts, Fetcher, Trenton, Condon, I'm not sure if he's got out there, and Nick Smith, I'm not sure if he's got out there as well. I can't see the bright yellow. Maybe there it is, bobbing around. No, that is Stephen Lacey, but they're away. It's getting desperate. In fact, I think he's had an extra reef at the wheel to get over there.
I think it threw it sideways just very briefly, and he managed to salvage it.
Let's hope he hasn't torn a tyre at all going up on the track strip. But Tomasi's blood in the water now. He's going straight out after them. And this trio are already pushing on. Have a look at Coxie in the Saab. He's found some impetus. Ryan Humphrey up the inside there on Michael Robinson in the big silver number 30. And that car has got whole horsepower on board.
Certainly has. And Duggan in there behind him, followed by Donnelly. Steve Lacey after a DNF in race 1 coming back up through the order. But off the start there, Tomasi tried to thread the needle, go past the first two, but the door was shut on him. And then, of course, we've seen Ricciardello had that little moment out of turn 1 that almost pitched the car sideways.
Ray Hislop or Jake Camilleri have gone off wide there, and Ray following him. Coming around turn number 5, lots of dust in the air now. Let's see Lacey, he goes through, and Ray's had a spot on Donnelly. There's a couple of New South Wales protagonists doing working pretty hard on each other here at the moment. They've come north for the weekend to do the National Series, and they're working very, very hard. Right in front is Duggan in the Aston Martin as well. We had a bit of a look in there in the lunch break around there with Donnelly, and certainly a great build, a really special car in the Australian motorsport landscape.
Lacey finally got past Donnelly, did it down the back straight, got a good run out of turn 2, carried the momentum down to 3. Now he's got to try and get past someone he knows pretty well. Races against him in the State Series in New South Wales at just about every round. That's Marc Duggan in the Aston Martin.
Gee, that car 30, it's a lot of car to push through the air, isn't it? Chasing down Michael Robinson in that iconic Australian coupe shape that Ash Jarvis is also deploying in this series, the Monaro. That's a big, big car, that one, isn't it?
Still Coutts leads them as well, so it's Caruso in front, Ricciardello second, there's Tomasi, Jarvis, Coutts, which we've just been looking at then, this big group in behind him, and look how big a group it is, and someone's a fairly big tyre look up down there, and that corner that's out of our side at the moment. Here comes Matt Longhurst on Ash Bright, trying to get around him. Longhurst in the time attack, Honda Integra.
It's done really well, actually. It doesn't seem to have been fragile at all. It's held in there.
Yeah, Tony Saint back. We suspect that he may have had a drive issue. They had the car jacked up at the back after that last session. But he
RX-7, not a rotary powered RX-7.
Yeah, decent one.
So Caruso still leading the way out in front to Ricciardello. In fact, he has opened up a 1.7 second lead as Jordan Caruso. Tomasi is a further 2.5 seconds back there as well. So the front 3 cars, this is a drive-by there in the 21. Does it brilliantly, does Longhurst, goes through on Bright and takes that position. Gee, that Honda's got some sniff on board, doesn't it, Gaz?
Yeah, 2.5 litre Honda engine, certainly working well.
Caruso a 106.96, a 106.96, that's eclipsing the lap record set by Thomas Randall of a 107.32. Off the timing screen there, that is a massive move, 0.4 of a second, 0.3 of a second there in the lap record. So has he got the Audi working in the window?
Yes.
Right now he does, yeah, that is amazing pace. 1.9 seconds lead over Tony Ricciardello in the red Alpha. Here's Stephen Lacey working onto the Aston Martin, the Duggan family hotels.
So nothing wrong with the Aston Martin in a straight line, but runs a bit wide out of turn 3. Lacey gets alongside him, but the Aston Martin will come back at him. Duggan regathers that spot. They're fighting over 8th position at the moment.
Stephen Lacey, a multiple state champion in New South Wales, runs the combined sedans events at Mount Panorama at different race weddings through the year. Looks to the inside now, the Aston doesn't get through. He has now got the problem coming in from behind with Chris Donnelly. And then after Donnelly is Curry in that Marc Mustang.
This may be his opportunity, but I don't think it has a straight line sniff of what the Aston Martin has. That proves to be correct there when he just can't do it. But he might get him at turn 2. He sneaks up the inside. Again, he's got a long straight to negotiate, and it's just not helping the Chef Camaro pilot at this stage.
Big shout out to Shane Bradford just winning the Camaro there. Would have been great to have the Queenslander out on track with us here this weekend. Flames flying out of the Chris Donnelly Falcon. Apparently race cars with flames go faster. Couldn't agree more. Certainly more spectacular.
Indeed. And with the overcast conditions we have, they show up a little bit better as well.
They certainly do. 6 of the 13 laps completed now by our race leaders. So coming up to half race distance on this lap. And at the moment, Jordan Caruso has just done a 1:06.83. He's taken another 1.15 of a second off that lap record.
And Ricciardello's done a 1:78.
So he's gone under the previous lap record of Thomas Randall. Randall will be at the next round here whenever they race again. He fronted up to Sandown after someone beat it and did his lap record at the state round. And I dare say Dean and Thomas will be watching this. Big shout out, guys. There it is. There's the new lap record.
Chris Donnelly's
Lacey's slowing. He's not happy either. That's not good.
Curry trying to get in the inside of Donnelly at turn 3.
So that's a Ford with a Chev in it and a Ford with a Ford in it.
Yeah, well, indeed.
Albeit a space frame bespoke sports sedan with a Ford body over it.
Mark II Mustang. Mark II, the Marc company will be producing a new Mark II Mustang, which will have a Chev in it and will be totally sports sedan compliant. It'll be called the GT-SS.
This is our race leader now. Has reset the lap record twice over the last 6 laps, so he has got the car operating right in the window he wants to. Tony Ricciardello, 11 times national champion in the category, 2.6 seconds further behind. Traditionally, Gaz, you'd have to say that that's pretty much over in a sports sedan race, but this car has thrown up some curly ones at Jordan this weekend, and one was a header issue.
Oh, Ray Hislop having a moment down at turn
rare.
6.
That's very rare. Maybe he doesn't make mistakes.
Oh, it's Lacey off to the pits. So.
There's our race leader coming through now, Ray Hislop. So that lead looks to have come back a little bit over the last lap or so. What's this lap time for Jordan? It's a 1:08. So he's backed off about a second and a half on that last lap. And Ford Ricciardello into 2 seconds. So I said it's almost over, but it's not, is it? We're back to within 2 seconds of each other at the front of this race. The Earl Core Property Developments Audi. The B&M Ricciardello Alpha out of Western Australia.
I wonder if Caruso's just backed off to give the tyres a bit of a breather so he can have another stab at the outright lap record.
Or have a stab at fending off Tony Ricciardello for the next 6 laps or so.
Oh, Steve.
Michael
Robertson in dramas.
The coaching room outfit from Bell Real Estate and the Dandenong Rangers in near Melbourne.
And this battle continues without Lacey, but certainly we have Donnelly and Curry there.
Oh, Chris Donnelly's been driving really well and got this car really just percolating along nicely. To be able to drive up to the back of that Aston Martin like that, you've got your car operating nicely.
We haven't seen it, but Ash Jarvis has lost 4th position to Tony Coutts in the Saab.
Look at that. This is going to be a change of position here now, so this will see P7 go to Chris Connolly, and it does.
So Doug's been running wide out of turn 3 on every lap, and this time Donnelly took advantage of it. And
looks like Curry's about to do something very similar.
Yeah, it looks like it might be a handling issue with the Aston there. Just having problems on the corner exit. Here's this battle for 4th position, Cox and Jarvis. Dodge Power versus Chev Power.
Gee, Ash doesn't want to blot his copybook for 4th places, does he? That
one position won't hurt his championship lead. I guess you've got to keep that at the back of your mind. He's had 2 4ths And if he gets a 5th in this one, it's better than 2 5ths and a 4th that Coutts will have.
Better than a poke in the eye, hey?
Anything's better than a poke in the eye.
That's true. That is true. T-Pole, number 44 car. We haven't seen a lot of it. Colin and Warren Smith owned outfit. And Colin was done with sports sedans and Warren said, I'm not. Let's get a driver into this thing. And I've got to say they've been duly rewarded with Ash. First question I asked Ash was what modifications did you have to do to adjust the car seating position from Colin, who's a bigger, taller fella, and Ash is a slighter, shorter bloke. He goes off.
I was just going to say what an effort he's put in.
Well, he has. He's just going to have to put it back in again.
I did see down there working on the car was Jeff Barnes.
Yeah, fantastic to see Barnsley back at the track. That old Pontiac of his will live on. Oh, Chris Donnelly's gone into the pits as well. That's got a whole lot of smoke flaming out. Yeah, it looked like it, didn't it? If you filled the cockpit like that. This little RX-7, normally aspirated twin rotor.
Yes, there's a fire with that car.
That's definitely a fire. He's out. So that's good. Can't see any flames. There's a lot of smoke there. Acrid smoke going up into the air.
It's a wrong colour smoke.
It's not nice, is it? No. No, that's not nice. Smouldering, that one there. Let's see as our timing screen starts to glitch out. Takes the last race of the weekend to not perform the job we need it to. Lap number 10. Caruso leads. Stephen Tomasi in the lane now. Oh no. Out of P3. Timing screen's telling us that Stephen Tomasi has come to the lane. Can't see from all the smoke that's going up there with the Donnelly car. But the timing screen is telling me
well, mine isn't.
That Tomasi's in the lane. So, well, yeah, it said it's getting glitchy, but I'm hoping I'm wrong. I'm hoping that the screen's wrong. But that looks like that fire is being attended to now. Well done to Chris to bring the car into safety and get himself out of it. At the moment, Jordan Caruso now has just eased the lead of this race back out to 2.7 seconds. And last time round a 1:08.5.
Yeah, Tomasi is in the lane, so we've got Caruso in front from Ricciardello, Jarvis third, Coutts in fourth, Ryan Humphrey fifth in the XC
And there's the
Falcon.
checkered flag too. Fire trucks heading into the pit lane as well, so there's more drama of field going on down there, Gaz. Didn't quite see the run. Oh, there we go. That's certainly smouldering away there. So, the final race of the weekend and the new lap record holder at Queensland Raceway, part of the Shannon's Trophy Series, will be Jordan Caruso in the John Gourlay-owned Audi. Tony Ricciardello threw everything at it. He took a couple of race wins, but you and I know Tony well enough, Gaz, that he'll have a furrowed brow after that one.
Yeah, he probably was expecting a better result than a couple of seconds today. And I guess he'll work on that before the next round, which is at Sydney Motorsport Park on the second weekend of September.
There's our driver of that car, so he's out getting a cold drink. So a couple of the opposition crews just talking to him, checking up he's okay. So that's the
Duggan crew down there helping
that is
out.
The Duggan crew. That's Travis Condon right there. Was racing earlier today in the green Corolla in Sports Sedan, so he's been down there to lend a hand as well. There's Tony Ricciardello as our big bangers, the Gods of Thunder, make their way back into pit lane. Gaz, that will see the final on-track action for us for the weekend, and in true Sports Sedan final, never short of drama towards the end of the race, hey?
That certainly did, and Tomasi actually pulled up behind the Falcon, which is interesting. So
yeah, he has. He's pulled up at the entry there, so that's a shame. That is a real shame. Those guys put a lot of work into not just getting their own car here, but getting everyone here.
Well, as you related earlier, Daniel Tomasi, that's Steve's father, was just beside himself yesterday about how enthusiastic it was to see such great racing.
Correct.
Even though his son finished third in that race and led it in the early stages.
What this does is gives Ash Jarvis a step on the podium.
It does.
Nice points.
But he's had overall, overall, he'll finish third overall for the round.
Yeah. So keeps his hopes alive, doesn't he? Keeps breathing life into it, and that's what you've got to do in a championship sense in the Precision International National Sports Sedan Series. I am surprised to see a lap record this weekend. I'm not surprised that the lap record is Jordan Caruso. But boy, that will light the fire under the Randall family. They're very proud of their lap records. Here they are, final results. Jordan Caruso takes the win for this afternoon over Tony Ricciardello, who has travelled a long way to get here. Ash Jarvis steps up onto the podium. He'll be very, very proud of himself. Jordan Caruso, a new lap record of 106.83. There goes Jake Camilleri returning to the back of the pits in the Grand Prix Mazda Sports Sedan. Does much and varied racing, doesn't he, Jake Camilleri?
He certainly does. Production cars, even had a run in RX8 Cup recently.
Yep, does a lot of racing. And the drivers are out of the cars down there. We will confirm the rest of the finishes there. Jordan getting a bit of a cuddle there. So he's pretty happy with that. Getting a lap record, Gaz, pumps your boots up, doesn't it? Makes you feel 10 feet tall.
Pumps your boots up, yep. Well done.
Certainly does.
Go from 5'8" to 6'2".
And more. It's amazing. Tony sent straight over and given Jordan a congratulations too. So that's a testament to the series as well, that they can congratulate each other. And for the final race of the weekend of the National Sports Sedans, we're not too far away from getting down and talking to our winners down there in pit lane. So Ash Jarvis confirmed onto the podium in the T-Fold Monaro. And we look down to Dean Herridge with our race winner.
Happy with that. The car was awesome. Obviously, thanks to everyone who helps with getting the car as good as it is. I was really happy with the lap and stoked to get the lap record. Tony, pushed me right to the end. Obviously, he's never going to give up. But really happy with the weekend. Sort of slowly chipped away at it, got better and better, and couldn't be happier.
Car just seemed to be in the window. Once you got a little bit of a gap, was that the aim to go for the lap record at all or not?
It wasn't the aim, but I knew it was there and I knew we could do it, so I was definitely pushing for it. And the tyres held on really well, so I was sort of able to keep pushing. Stoked.
Just seemed like it got better and better, mate. Well done on a fabulous 3 races. I know yesterday was didn't go your way, but 2 wins today, magic.
Yeah, thank you so much, and thanks to Precision International and Duggan Family Homes.
Yeah, good on you, mate. Thank you so much, and we'll invite Tony over to have a chat. Of course, the West Osby gallant in defeat, but mate, just couldn't catch him on that one. He was fast.
Yeah, mate. Look, credit to the guys. John and Jordan and the boys there. Obviously they're bringing the A game, and that's what we want. You got to win, and you got to win against the best. And today it wasn't to be, but made a couple of rookie mistakes, or old man mistakes, or something, whatever you want to call it. But we've found a little bit of pace, and I think hopefully by Eastern Creek we'll get a bit more, and it'll be on again.
So you're blaming, there's a little bit in the car, a little bit in you as well, you reckon?
Oh, look, there's definitely always some in the drive. You always look back and you think, I could have this, could have that, you know what it's like. But I made a couple of small mistakes, and, you lose a car length, and then you do another one, you lose another car length, then you don't get the traffic at the right time, and all those little things, it plays into the result. So, but anyway, look, it's what it is, mate. The boys from WA, we work hard all the time, and the Alpha gives us a lot of work to do when between seasons and between race meetings. But good effort by the boys, and thanks again to all the guys in the Sports Sedan Series, Precision International, and the Duggan family. Obviously without them, again, we wouldn't be here. So it's the year's building up.
It certainly is, mate. It's going to be a climax to the end of the year. Mate, congratulations and well done for a great job today.
No worries. Thanks, Dean. Cheers.
Mate. We want Ash James comes across. Well done, Ash, on the podium. And you were fighting hard the whole weekend, mate. It's a nice little bit of sugar at the end of the weekend.
Oh, look, I don't think I've ever been so happy to finish in 3rd place. I thought I was running around in 4th, and then Coxie got me there, and I was running around in 5th, and then he ran off. And look, Tony, Warren, Colin, they've been working tirelessly on this car. We know we're not as fast as the big 3. It's actually a credit to be on the track to, following these guys around. They're putting on a pretty good show, and I'm in the best seat in the house.
It's a bit like that, isn't it? Are you learning and getting little tips here? I mean, your car's fast as well, so you're gaining every lap.
Oh, look, honestly, I'm putting in qualifiers every lap to stay in front of the rest. I know we don't quite have that car space, but the guys, like I said, back in the workshop, they're chipping away at it, and hopefully by the end of the year, we're getting closer and we're getting closer.
Qualifying laps, that's a lot of laps to do around that qualifying pace. You'd be worn out.
Yeah, I'm knackered. Just want to say a huge hello and a thanks to my wife, my mum, and my 3 beautiful girls at home that are unfortunately quite sick and couldn't make it here this weekend.
Good on you, Ash Jarvis. Well done for a podium to finish the weekend. As you said, all smiles. Good on you.
Happy, thank you.